Welcome to my channel. My name is Heather Peckin, and this is the place to be. Fearless Vision, breaking through the limitations of your mind to be a fearless leader in your business, in your career, or in any area of your life, guaranteed. Using cutting edge neuroscience. I'm an expert in human behavior, and I also use psychology and philosophic principles in order for you to rapidly shift. I absolutely love what I do, and I'm a woman on a mission, and I want you to help me to bring this mission out there in the YouTube world or wherever you're watching this by giving the video a thumbs up. There's something in the algorithm with YouTube that more women just like you who are watching this will find out about this channel. How cool is that? Also subscribe, push that little subscribe button. You'll be notified when I put up new videos. Typically it's every week. If I feel generous, I'll put it out more frequently, but right now I'm just doing it every week. And the last thing, if you want to enter my drawing every single month for a virtual copy of this book, The La Dolce Vita Formula, or I like to say La Dolce Vita, which means the sweet life, a woman's guide to a fearless and fabulous life. Just put in La Dolce Vita in the comments below. And please feel free to comment about this topic that I want to share with you today on how to get motivated when you're feeling down. Oh my gosh, do I know about this subject? Okay, I could write a book on it. Well, actually, I did. Actually, I did. And I love this subject because, you know, even very smart women that have a high intellect, maybe you have a master's degree, maybe you have a PhD, maybe you don't, maybe you're watching this and you're in high school or in grade school, it doesn't matter. But the point I'm making, intellect is nothing without the application. So I could be sharing these principles about how to get out of your head, but if you don't apply it, it's not going to work. Okay. So knowledge is powerful, but it's the application of the knowledge that is key. And so I want to talk about 3 powerful strategies that you can use to get out of your own way, girlfriend. Okay. I want you to get out of your own way. I remember, oh my gosh, so many times where I've been in my own way. And what happened, it started to create a vicious cycle. I'm not going to get into my life story. I talk about it in my book, a lot of my challenges and challenges of the clients that I've worked with throughout the years. But I'm here to tell you is that one thing, or actually 3 things that you do have control of, is altering your perceptions at any given point. Okay. You have the choice to get out of your negative state. But more often I find is women don't have these tools. So therefore it becomes habitual. It becomes an automatic program that is controlled through the subconscious mind. And it is like going through, or if you ever watch that movie Groundhog Day, it's like the same thing over and over again, over and over again. So realize that you have the ability at every single moment to alter your perceptions. Number 1, if you have the right tools. Number 2, you have the ability to make decisions. Okay. A lot of times women, they don't make decisions. They oscillate because of fear. And I have to tell you, when you make a decision, that's how you can make your life flow. You could actually make a decision. Hey, I'm not going to no longer stay in this negative state. And then you can change it just like that. The brain can change in milliseconds. Okay. So neuroscience tells us that the brain's neuroplasticity, meaning it can change very rapidly, those connections in your brain, happens in milliseconds. It does not take years of therapy to change something. I will argue with anyone. You know why? Because I get clients that have had some traumas and dramas, and I've been able to help them change just like that, where years of therapy did not help. Now, I'm not negating therapy. I'm not telling you not to do it, but I've been doing this work for many years. I understand how the brain works. I understand how we internalize things through our perceptions. And if we change our perceptions, we can change our negative states. Okay. It is as simple as that, but yet most people don't have what I call the technology in order to transform that state, that mental state. When you feel down, when you feel like, you know, no matter what you do, nothing is going to work out. Okay. So You really have to understand that you do have, the power to alter your perceptions, to make decisions. And the last thing, you know what you have the power of? To take action. Okay, that is a superpower. All of those three things as a woman you want to master. If you don't, then you're really living your life for someone else. Okay, and this is what I teach. I teach women all around the world, no matter where they're at in their journey, in their business or career or life, is to get exactly what they want by mastering this, right? That's my superpower. That is my superpower. Now, does that mean I never have challenges mentally? No, but I've got the tools. So when I'm feeling off, I'm going to share 3 tools that I use personally, and I also use it with my clients. So, number one is watching a video just like this. And this is what I call my mind immersion technique. Okay. My mind immersion technique, MIT, and not the school MIT, although that would be cool, right? But why this works when you start watching videos like this, or listening to a program. It could be an audio program. It could be in a audio book. What happens is you're through your perceptions, through your senses, I should say. Your senses create your perceptions. When you start consuming media, you shift. Okay, because your brain is like a filtering system. It's going to filter all this information. It's kind of like if you've ever binge watched any Netflix series, as you're going through it, right, you're engaged. You're locked into the characters, the storyline, and you want to keep going. And it does kind of transform you as you start getting into it. So the same thing applies to what I call is a technology. Your brain is a technology. Your brain is essentially an algorithm trying to find solutions. It kind of defaults back to its normal pattern through the subconscious mind. And the key is to solve the algorithm of your mind by changing your perceptions, period. So I remember working with a client who's going through a divorce, a high-level executive, very smart, extremely smart. And this is the thing. You can read a lot of books, but knowledge is useless without the application of knowledge. I know women that have PhDs, have master's degrees, but they don't have the emotional mastery. They don't have the tools that I teach. They haven't mastered them. And therefore, they could be all over the place and attract bad relationships, bad clients, not standing in their power in their careers. If you're in high school, I hope high school females are watching me. If you're if you're having situations where you feel like a lot of stress, at school, I remember I did, then realize that you're not alone. You're not alone. If you tap into your superpower as a woman, then you could transform anything in your life. I'm 100% certain, because I've worked with women all around the world. Give me any trauma and drama, and I could show them how to transform that instantly. I'm not going to get into it today, but that's what I do with my work. And I just am so passionate about it. But anyways, first thing, let's go back to the first technique, is my mind immersion technique, consuming media and video, media in the form of video or audio, until you shift. Okay, until you shift. So I had a client who was doing this, as I mentioned. She was going through a divorce, and this was one of the applications that she did. And it was so amazing, because she's like, Heather, I'm seeing things in a different way. When you see things in a different way through your perceptions, your brain starts making new connections. Okay, so there's that whole concept, which is 100% true: use it or lose it. That's why you have to keep up with this brain technology or brain fitness. It's like if you're working out in the gym and you stop, you're going to lose that muscle definition. Your muscles are actually going to atrophy. So that's number one. The second thing is reading. Okay, reading books like this. I have to tell you a quick little story. I remember going through some pretty rough times years ago, where books really fed my soul. Like, I found the comfort in reading the words on pages to, like, to be like, okay, there's got to be something here. Particularly, you can read stories about other people or women that have gone through specific issues that you have. And the reason why this is important is that when you see one person change through their story, you can also see how you can change. Okay. So there is that perception of just connecting with that consciousness of, wow, if that person changes, I can change. I want to give you the quick example of Roger Bannister when he ran or broke that 4-minute mile. For many years, doctors said it was physically impossible to break that record. No matter how much he tried to practice physically, he could never do it. And what was interesting, he learned how to reprogram his mind. Visualization is another strategy and technology that I teach my clients. But through the power of visualization, he was able to break that 4-minute mile. And what happened, it was about like 20 or 30 days later that people around the world were also able to break that record. So what does that tell you? It tells you that when you read a story about someone else, it gives you the belief that you can also change, right? It's connecting to that kind of mass consciousness belief. One person does it, then more people can do it. If she can do it, I can do it concept. So reading a book, my stories are always very personal. In this book, you can also go to heatherpiggin.com under, I think, products and purchase the physical copy. I teach programs, leadership programs, elite coaching, and my membership programs. They all revolve around this philosophy and technology on how to rapidly transform your beliefs. Why would you want to transform your beliefs? You want to transform your beliefs so that you can make more money. You can feel empowered as a woman. Any situation that you have, if you know how to change your perceptions, you can change your entire life. Guaranteed. 100% guaranteed. I've never worked with a client that hasn't applied this technology where they're not getting a better result. Okay. So I say the proof is in the pudding. Okay. So number 2, you want to read stories that are in alignment with, who you are, what you're going through. Find some women and some stories that you can connect with. You don't want to read stories that feel like a disconnect, right? You want to read stories like if you have a quote unquote illness and you're reading a book from a woman who healed herself or got better or whatever, isn't that empowering, right? If you are kind of like at your wit's end with your business, I know there had been times years ago where I felt that way. I started reading books, not only about the power of understanding how the subconscious mind works, but women that had struggled and became extremely successful. There is a formula. So when you apply that algorithm, that formula of their mind, and again, it's the application, then you can transform. So this is exactly what I talk about in this book. It's exactly what I teach on a very elite level to transform any area of your life. So this is not about just a bunch of affirmations. I teach you how to make new brain connections. And why do you want a better brain? Well, as you build a better brain, you go after bigger challenges. You give yourself permission to do something bigger and greater on this planet. And that's what I love to teach. Okay, so let's go into number 3. Number 3 is journaling. I've created an entire process. Actually, my morning success ritual, maybe I'll make another video about that. I have a whole technology and philosophy of writing things down. I like to write things down. And that also helps you, if you've heard about journaling, it helps you to be in that creative flow and actually be able to release things that you feel are just kind of bottled up inside. I want to give you a quick story on one of the things that I did that allowed me to pay off a $20,000 debt in less than 30 days. So I had a loan that was due. They were not going to renew it, kept dragging it out. And I had to pay 20 grand. I didn't have the money. And so what I started doing, I grabbed a journal and I started, just kind of like writing stuff down. And it all became clear how I could tap into align myself with this 20 grand. It was a complete mindset shift that I made when I was journaling. I had that belief that the money was going to come, and sure enough, it did. After I did that process, it came, I think, in about 10 days after that. And I remember getting the letter in the mail that the loan was paid in full. I should have had it framed, but it was a huge breakthrough in my mind because it taught me if I could do that, what else could I do? My whole life has been a series of just kind of learning from being in my own fear, breaking through the next level, and teaching other women how to do the same. So, journaling, let's talk about the neuroscience behind journaling. When you are journaling and doing it with feeling and emotion, you're connecting to your motor neurons and your sensory neurons. And I know you might be thinking, Heather, why are you telling me this? Well, I'm telling you this because this is how you start changing your brain. When you actually are physically writing something down, and you're connecting to that on a feeling level, your brain starts to evolve. You start to find solutions to your problems, and you get out of your own way. Don't you want to get out of your own way? But you've got to apply these tools. I can give you all of this knowledge, but if you don't apply it, it's going to be useless. So I hope this video today helps you. Leave me a comment below and let me know. Until next time, this is Heather Pickett, and live fearlessly.